Beth Richards.
Well, I'm a mechanical engineer.
Yes, we'll be coming out soon with the photovoltaics.
I'm not tied to a desk all day. It's a very active job. A lot of my time is spent out in the field working with people. I get paid to go to different cultures. It's a rough job, but somebody has to do it. At first it was a little bit of culture shock, going into the rural towns in Honduras and really for the first time experiencing not having power, not having water or whatever, the things that I take for granted here in this country. People pretty much have to get their daily activities taken care of during daylight hours. When the sun goes down, it's really dark. Unless there's a moon out, it is pitch black. It is a very dark place at night. It is very difficult to see your hand in front of your face. There aren't any lights to turn on because there's nothing to power them. And so they typically use candles and kerosene. It's just not very good quality light. There's also fumes that affect their health. If you've ever tried to study by candlelight, it's very difficult. It's too dark to do anything. It's too dark to cook, it's too dark to eat, it's too dark to serve, it's too dark to wash the dishes. So the family will shut down once darkness comes and they all go to bed. But in the U.S., we're quite accustomed to electricity everywhere and therefore electric lights. We're fortunate in this country that we do have these power lines, but stringing electric lines across the country is very, very expensive. In most parts of the developing world, there are no power lines, and even if there were, it's fairly unreliable. There are a lot of power outages, and the amount of broken wire and just kind of rat's nest wiring is really quite amazing to see. Putting in an electric grid is a very expensive thing. For one thing, copper is a very expensive thing to buy, and that's what makes up the wires in the power grid. And even if they had that, it's quite likely they wouldn't be able to afford to build the power plants that would put the energy into those copper wires. So as a result, most people in the world don't have access to electricity, the thing that we take for granted. Our challenge is to bring solar electricity to people who would otherwise not have access to any form of electricity.